Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Today, I got a twofer for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I've never done this before, and I ain't never did this before. No, I feel like J. Cole in this bitch. I got a twofer for y'all, a two-parter. I got my reaction to UFC 326. Then after that, I'm gonna do my picks for UFC Fight Night Emmett Vallejos. So, without further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to be going over the entire card for both cards. My entire reaction to UFC 326 and all of my picks for all the fights on Emmett Vallejos. So, for this not to be too long of a video, let's get straight into this. Starting off with fucking these two fools right here, Luke Fernandez and Rodolfo Bellato. I picked Rodolfo Bellato to win, and he got it done by round 1 TKO. It was looking a little hairy at first in the first round. Fernandez, he was picking shots good, beating Bellato to the punch on a lot of the exchanges. It seemed that Fernandez was way faster than Bellato, and Bellato was just way slower and way more open on the feet than Fernandez. Bellato couldn't really get going, but of course that's always kind of what Bellato does. He is kind of hittable and is very slow in the first round, and then he does sort of like build into the fight. He'll do that like for round 1 and 2, or like round 1 half of round 2, and then he'll pick it up at the end of the second and like start to snowball and start to really get going in the third. But it didn't really take him that long to get going. He was able to clip Fernandez on the chin with the left hook as Fernandez was coming in, feeling too overconfident with the exchanges. Clipped him with the left hook, sat him down, and finished him up with ground and pound. So yeah, good stuff from Rodolfo Bellato. Now 2 wins in the UFC. I think he was coming off a win when he was going into this fight, if I'm not mistaken. So good stuff for Bellato, and a sneaky pick by me, Fernandez. Although he was, I was hearing like rumblings about how he was, training with Pereira and all this stuff, and he was undefeated 6-0. Didn't really look all that to me, and it proved me right. So good stuff for Bellato. That made me 0-1 on the card. Moving on. Oh shit. Still got to get used to this zoomed in shit. Moving on, we got Deir Nurgajev defeating Rafael Tobias in by unanimous decision. This was a bit of an interesting fight to watch, because Tobias didn't really get going in the grappling like I thought he would. He was at the first fucking round and a half, he was content with striking with Nurgajev on the feet, and Nurgajev just pretty much just outclassed him on the feet for the entire first round. And any time he went on the feet, Nurgajev was outclassing him. Couldn't miss with the left hand, was looping it around as well. Couldn't miss with the straight left hand, and was looping it around the guard of Tobias, clipping him with that as well. I think at one point in the fight, Tobias clipped Nurgajev while Nurgajev was coming in. Was trying to corral Tobias up to the fence, and then Tobias landed a 2-piece combo on Nurgajev that clipped him and had him stumbling back. But yeah, the main story of this fight was Tobias just being a fucking retard and just not taking advantage of the opportunities that were presenting itself to him at this fight. In this fight, Nurgajev, he had a clear grappling advantage on Nurgajev on the ground. Took him down pretty much with ease, or like the second takedown he got on Nurgajev, took him down with ease. Was pretty much on top of Nurgajev. Nurgajev did nothing to stop Tobias from advancing position, did nothing to stop the ground and pound, was pretty much sticking his hands up and on the fucking ground, flat on his back, letting Tobias rip ground and pound shots on him. And Tobias, instead of finishing him with ground and pound, I think this was like the second round, instead of finishing Nurkic with a ground and pound while Nurkic just sitting there waiting to be fucking smashed into the fucking canvas, Tobias goes for an arm triangle that he does not know how to do. He doesn't know how to pull off the arm triangle, yet he still goes for it. And then Nurkic was able to escape the ground and eventually get back up to his feet and start clipping Tobias on the feet with the left hand, with the jab, out moving Tobias as well. Wiping his eye at range. Nurkic was. I said this in my prediction video. Nurkic, he has a really bad tick where he wipes his eye. I don't know if he does that like to keep that as a reminder. It's like to keep his hands by his face or what, or that's just like a medical thing that he has. I know on the regional scene, he was a bit juiced. And I think there are, in fact, steroids that help with that help you like keep control of like tics and like habits and stuff like that, and like little jitters and stuff like that. I know there are steroids that help like subside that and make you not do like certain tics as much. So, yeah. Pretty much Nurkic outclassing him on the feet. Like kind of, he improved in the grappling. He improved more in the grappling than his other like fights. He was like getting out of positions. He wasn't like just getting taken down and just getting stuck on the bottom and like letting guys have their way with him on the ground. He was escaping positions on the ground. He wasn't doing them all that like technically and all that. Like he really had a fundamental understanding of the grappling, but he was escaping positions. I think at one point at the end of the third, Tobias got a Suliev stretch on him. Didn't end up finishing it, but he was able to get Nurkic in that position. But yeah, this was a Tobias like fumbling the finishes in this fight very, very badly, and then Nurkic was just able to get out of it and able to just land his own strike. So yeah, good stuff for Nurkic. He's still pretty shit, but if he goes up against someone that actually knows how to put together a finish and is not like a tart on the feet, I think he loses. But on this event he won, so good stuff. And I also picked Tobias to win, so that made me 1-1 on the card. Yeah, moving on. Another L for me on picks. We got Sumu Darji defeating Jose Aguilar by unanimous decision. Yeah, this was Sumu Darji pretty much outclassing Jose Aguilar in every facet of the game. He was keeping his range with the kicks, using his range very well, outboxing Aguilar, outkicking Aguilar, and even out-grappling Aguilar. Yeah, that even I thought in my prediction video, I thought Aguilar would have the advantage in the grappling, and turns out he didn't. Darji really improved on the grappling. On his grappling since his UFC career started, he's always been known as like a string bean kind of guy that's been able to use his range, but if you get a hold of him, you can manipulate him, and that's where he's weak. But he's improved his grappling, and that showed off in this fight. He was able to stuff the takedowns of Aguilar and even get his own takedowns. He got some really good trips as well on Aguilar. Was able to hold position when he wanted to, control the position, land some ground and pound. If he wanted to do that, and when it got to the feet, he was able to stay at range, use his kicks very well, kick up Aguilar at range, outbox Aguilar as Aguilar was coming forward, trying to throw looping combinations. Darji was able to slide out of the way and land counters. And he pretty much did that for the entire fight. Outboxed Aguilar, outkicked him, outgrappled him, outclassed him. And yeah, good stuff for Sumu Darji. And that made me 1-2 on the card. Yeah. And that was the early prelims. But moving on, we got Nimzhargal Tumbendemirov. No, not Tumbendemirov. to Mendem Burrell, defeating Cody Durden. Um, this was Tumen Dembrell just being the more powerful and physical entity in the cage. Every shot he landed on Durden, it looked like it affected Durden, and you can hear it. Hear it being landed on Durden, even though Durden did land more strikes. Every strike that Tumen Dembrell landed, it hurt and it counted. And this was also Tumen Dembrell. Jeez, this was also Tumen Dembrell. Being a way better grappler, was able to control positions on Durden, get the takedowns. He got every single takedown that he tried. Durden was not really able to scramble and get out of position as well as we've seen him. Usually Durden, he's known for like having like a good pace and being able to like push a pace on guys and pressure guys and sort of out like cardio and outwill them. But he wasn't able to do that in this fight. It looked like Cody Durden, he started off the first round like really at a really high pace, really fast, and as the fight went on, he sort of gassed out and was not able to keep the same pace that he did in the first round. And that's usually pretty not characteristically what you see from a guy that doesn't really have a lot of power. Usually they're able to keep the pace at least and have some good cardio. But Tumen Dembrell was the one who had the power, and he had the cardio advantage as the fight went on, and he also had the wrestling advantage as well. So it was just a very, very tough matchup for Durden. And yeah, this was pretty much Tumen Dembrell, yeah, just being able to out physicality him and out grapple him. I think Durden did have some moments in the grappling. Was able to like reverse position here and there and like get out, but and like in the first round. But as the fight went on, it was all pretty much Tumen Dembrell. So yeah, good stuff from Tumen Dembrell, the man from Mongolia, the fitted drip lord from Mongolia. And yeah, I can't wait to see more of him. He looks he's pretty fun to watch. He's pretty active. He's never really standing still, like kind of plodding. He's always kind of doing something, always pressing forward, always going for the finish. And yeah, I think he's a good interjection into the flyweight mix. Moving on, we got. He still doesn't even have a fucking picture. What the fuck? It's been a week since this fucking event ended. He doesn't even have a picture yet. What the hell? Yeah, we got Alberto Montez defeating Ricky Turcios in the second round by unanimous, not unanimous decision, fucking by submission. Got him with a nasty anaconda choke. Yeah, this was fucking Montez just being the way better fighter, way cleaner fighter in the striking and also in the grappling. Was able to fend off Turcios, outstrike Turcios, pretty much looked very comfortable on the feet, looked very aware of what was going on, was able to use all of his weapons very cleanly and very effectively on Turcios. Had really good kicks, really good boxing, not just not like let the UFC jitters get fucking like get a hold of him and like let it affect his like game and his mindset. Was in there like very calm, very collective, very comfortable, like he's done this before, and that showed in the fight. Was outclassing Turcios in pretty much every facet in the game. Turcios couldn't get him down. He couldn't use his wrestling, couldn't use his striking, and then when Turcios did try and get something in the grappling going, Montez was able to lock up that anaconda choke super quickly, and then when he had it, he had it. That's pretty much his best submission. Then he was able to get it done in this fight with it. So yeah, good stuff for Montez. Handsome Ilya, they're calling him. I know he does look like Ilya, and he's also he's Spanish, he's Venezuelan. Ilya's from Spain. So That could be a little marketing thing he can do to get some pop from the fans. But yeah, good stuff from him. Looked very good in his debut against a guy like Tercios. So yeah, and that made me. I also picked I picked Tumen Dembrau and I picked Montez, and they both got it done. So that made me 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. Moving on, we got Dante Johnson defeating Cody Brundage by split decision. A bit of a fraud check for Dante Johnson. I'm not gonna lie to you. Johnson, he looked like a fucking like a YN in there. He looked like a damn. This shit looked like a school bathroom fight. If I'm gonna be honest, like he looked like he had no fundamental understanding of striking. Was standing like a fucking. He was standing like one of them damn old school 2016 ass like weave videos. Like you go up, weave. Like he was standing. He was genuinely doing that in the cage. I swear. Against Cody Brundage, and Brundage just being too okay and not having the ability to really get any of his offense going. There was a clear power advantage. Johnson did have the power advantage, even though he looked very ass with all of his punches. Every time he hit Durden, it had an effect on Durden, and he was able to outstrike Durden pretty much, and also he was able to get out of the grappling exchanges. Whenever Durden tried to go to that, Johnson was able to pretty much just survive and rely on his physicality to get him outside of the grappling exchanges and not let Durden get any offense going in there. But yeah, pretty bad going to a split decision with Cody Durden, while other middleweight prospects are finishing up Durden, or at least looking a lot better than what Dante Johnson was. How Dante Johnson was looking out there. So yeah, I've bought into the hype going into the Contender Series. He being a middleweight, going in there as a heavyweight and knocking out a motherfucker, and then having the finish over Dumas. When Dumas beat Durden, and then going out there and looking like you did out there against fucking, did I call him Durden again? Fucking Brundage. Jeez. Against Brundage. That's not a good look. That's not a very good look. But hey, he won. I don't really know about his future at middleweight. If he goes up against one of these other dangerous prospects like Abdul Mansur Malik, or Teba Gautier, or Yusri Belgari, or Azmat Bakoyev, or someone else, like even like a Shard Bullet, I think he gets pieced up by all those guys and loses pretty badly. Johnson. So yeah, maybe him versus like Trayshawn Gore or something like that. Build up Johnson a bit more. I think he needs a bit more guys on his resume before he can start taking on these dangerous guys that know what they're doing. So yeah, but I did pick Johnson, and that made me 4-2 on the card. And moving on to the headliner of the prelims, we got Cody Garbrandt defeating Zhao Long by unanimous decision, 28-27. This was a really, really, really weird fight. So it started off. I wasn't able to watch like the first round of this fight because I was on the road and I wasn't able to get service. So I pretty much missed the whole fucking first round. I believe fucking Garbrandt dropped Long with like a hook or something while Long was coming in. Pause. Was able to drop Long, so I think he won that round off that. Round two, was round two the first nut shot? Was it? It might have been, or was it round three? Jeez, I don't know. I think round two was one of the first nut shots. Um, yeah. So nut shot. From I think Long hit Garbrandt with a nut shot. Um, once. Then the fight went on. I think Long won the second round. He was backing up Garbrandt, outstriking Garbrandt. Also using grappling as well on Garbrandt. Pretty much outclassing him in the second round. Third round, there was another nut shot. I believe it was a kick from Long. Kicked Garbrandt in the balls with his toe. On landed with the toe straight to the nutsack of Garbrandt. So already he hit Garbrandt with a nut shot, then he kicked him in the nuts with the toe. And those toe kicks, they hurt. They don't. It doesn't seem like it, but they fucking hurt. Kicks Garbrandt right in the nuts. Garbrandt immediately just goes down to his knees, and then fucking he starts like vomiting as well. It looked really bad. They couldn't show it on the cameras, but it was bad. Garbrandt started vomiting and shit as well. Then Garbrandt got fucking mad. Then he ran straight at Long. They ran at each other. Fucking did the ref take a point on the second one, or I think he took a point on the third one. I think Herb took a point on the third one. As well. I think they ran at each other, fought some more. Then I think Long hit Garbrandt with another nut shot. Then Herb took a point. Then I also think Long grabbed the cage, if I'm not mistaken, or something. Or was it another nut shot? I think either ways Long fouled again, and then Herb took another point off Long in the third round. So by that time, there's no way that Long could have won the fight, even if he like fucking 10-8'd Garbrandt. I don't even think he would have, or even if he won the round, not 10-8'd, but even if he won the third round, there was no way Long could win the fight. It would at least be a draw. So yeah, Garbrandt wins basically off of fouls and off of point deductions. Good for Garbrandt. I think next guy he fights is gonna get fucking bodied. So I don't see the point, but good stuff for Garbrandt at least. At least he got a win in the Big 26. After fucking 10 years of straight misery. Good for him. But yeah. And I also picked Garbrandt to win, so that made me 5-2 on the card. So yeah. Moving on, we got the first fight on the main card, and honestly one of the better fights on the main card. We got Gregory Rodriguez destroying Bruno Ferreira in the first round by KO. These guys were moving around that range. First off, they already fought each other, and Bruno Ferreira won in the first round by KO as well. So this is just going straight to full circle. And this also got me thinking about how good is Volk? Like Volk, he fought Max 3 times, right? Won all 3 times. Then he fought Lopez twice and won both times. Usually on most times when guys rematch, the guy who lost the first time wins. And now we're seeing that, especially with a lot of these fights that are being made where it's two people that have already fought each other and they're both unranked, and then they fight each other again and they're still both unranked. And a lot of the time, pretty much every time since we've seen this, the person that has lost the first time has won, and they've won devastatingly. Yeah, so what was I saying? Fucking yeah. So the guy that usually loses the first fight wins. Usually wins the second one. But let's get into the fight. Not really much to talk about. Both guys were at range, making reads, waiting for each other to come in, waiting for each other to counter. Landed. You see, both landed 2 strikes on each other, and the second strike, fucking Rodriguez landed. It was a right hand as it was like a step off right hand, like a step off right overhand as Bruno Ferreira was coming forward, blitzing in. Rodriguez stepped off, threw a right hand at Ferreira, and that was lights out from there. Hits Ferreira, bang, smokes him out, fucking makes him go limp, and then the ref stepped in. 1-punch KO for Gregory Rodriguez for RoboCop. Crazy, nasty work from RoboCop. I think he deserves a crack at the top 15. I think Bruno Ferreira was in the top 15, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked, I think I saw him in the top 15. So I think Rodriguez might be in the top 15 now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, good for him. I think fuck. What should we do? Albus Magomedov, I think. We slime out Magomedov. Yeah, a fun fight at least. I want to see a fun fight for RoboCop. Yeah. Moving on, and that made me 6-2 on the card. I picked RoboCop. But moving on, we got. I'm the predator of the prey that is eyeing. Oh my, I found you, nigga. Don't you run from me, little nigga. We got Drew Dober sliming out Michael Johnson. I swear, Dober saw him reach for a gun, bro. We got Drew Dober sliming out Michael Johnson. He is not beating the allegations in round 2 by a devastating KO. First, in the first round, Johnson, he was stinging up Dober with a jab, outboxing Dober, moving around on Dober, out-movementing him. Dober was trying to come forward, trying to feint. I feel like Dober, he's upped his feint game since the last time we saw him. That was always one of Dober's things. He would always just come forward and not set up any offense with any like reads or feints or fakes. He would just like come forward and blitz at guys, and it was very easy to time when he would do that. And now he's starting to mask his entries a bit more and make it harder for guys to read when he's coming in, which is good for him. But yeah, round 1, Johnson was stinging around, moving around, stinging Dober with the jab, stinging Dober with the left hand as well. Had a clear speed advantage over Dober. Was popping Dober with shots. Dober took them all. Waited his time till he saw Johnson reach. And then in the second round, it was more of the same from Johnson, stinging up Dober with the jab. I think Dober was landing more. He was starting to land his overhand and his left hand, or his left overhand. At one point, I think like 20 or 30 seconds before the KO, Dober lands a big left overhand on Johnson, and he gives Johnson like a fat fucking like dent on the side of his head, on like the side of his like right, like around like the cheekbone area, like sort of around like this area. Gave Johnson like a fat ass dent on the side of his head there with a left overhand. And then Johnson backed up, started popping the jab more. Then Dober comes back, I think he threw a right hook left overhand combo. Johnson thought he was throwing he didn't think he was. Johnson tried to counter Dober with a right hand, tried to counter him with a check fucking left hook, because Johnson's a southpaw, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Johnson's a southpaw. He tried to counter Dober with a check right hook, a check hook as Dober was throwing the overhand. Dober got to him way faster and was able to put that overhand on Johnson and sleep him out cold. It was kind of like the same like fucking the same way that like Emmett and fucking CDF knocked out Johnson, but it was like the southpaw version. It was like it was the southpaw version because Dober's a southpaw. So yeah, good stuff for Drew Dober. The meme continues. Dober, he's not beating the allegations, and yeah, the certified the I think top 5 mythical fighters is racially motivated Drew Dober. I mean, it's undeniable at this point. So yeah, good stuff for Dober. That made me, I think, 6-3 on the card. Um, from this shit. So yeah, I picked Johnson to win, and Dober got it done. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Moving on, we got Raul Rosas Jr. doesn't have a fucking silhouette picture on ESPN. What the hell is going on? What the fuck is happening? Yeah, we got Raul Rosas Jr. Defeating Rob Font by unanimous decision, 30-27. The Chihuihuis is dead, and Raulov Rosuzov. That's what I'm calling him. Raulov Rosuzov has entered the building. Yeah, this is Raul Rosas Jr. Dominating Rob Font in the grappling pretty much. He was also looking good on the feet, Raul Rosas. He was able to box with Rob Font, able to land some good shots on Font as well. Font, he was like trying to like pressure Rosas. Like he was doing like that fucking like that Philly shell thing they does where he hunches up his shoulders and goes like fucking this and shit. Doing that on fucking on Raul Rosas as well. While Raul Rosas was pinging him up with the jab on the back foot. And as soon as Raul Rosas shot his first takedown, he pretty much had the fight there. Was able to keep Font there for pretty much the whole fight. Kept the control on him. Didn't really do much on the ground, but kept the control on him. I don't know if Rosas was like injured going into this fight or what, and he just couldn't really push and couldn't really like go for any finish. But yeah, he pretty much just fucking controlled Font for the whole fight. And yeah, not really much to say. Didn't really threaten any submissions. Didn't really throw much like big ground and pound or whatever. So yeah, not really much to talk about. Good stuff for Rosas Jr. I think he's in the is he in the top 15 now, I think? Yeah, I think he's in the top 15 now. So I don't know what's going to be there for him. Maybe we do a Marlon Vera, I guess, against Rosas. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna be the play for him. So yeah. And I picked Rosas to win, so that was like what 7-3? Yeah, 7-3. But moving on to the co-main event, we got fucking Kyle Bahalio defeating Rainer de Ridder by unanimous decision. By 30-27. I thought the fight was way closer than 30-27. I thought it was at least like 29-28, maybe a split decision. It wasn't gonna be, but 30-27 Bahalio. That's pretty insane. Considering I thought RDR won like the second round at least. Maybe he can even. I thought he won also like the. At first, I thought he won the third round, but then I thought about it for a few seconds. Then I was like, no, Kyle won the third round. So I thought it was at least 29-28. But yeah, this was Kyle Bahalio being way more technical on the feet than the Ridder. Also being way faster than the Ridder. The thing about Bahalio is he has somehow he's fast, but he has no like power in any of his punches. It's really crazy to see. It's crazy to like think about and see that he's able to like outspeed guys and hit guys, but he's not able to really like hurt them or like land some type of like devastating blow that gets guys to like respect him. Like he was countering RDR with a check hook pretty much the whole fight, and RDR was able to just walk straight through it and just be goofy and land his own offense on Kaio. But for the majority of the whole fight, Kaio was being way more technical. Kaio also fought this fight entirely in southpaw, and he's orthodox, which is that's pretty freaking crazy to think about. My dog. That's pretty fucking crazy to think about. Fighting in your in a not in your original stance and being able to do it effectively is so fucking. That's so difficult. That's like writing a fucking whole essay like with your non-dominant hand or some like equivalent. That's like it's like running a fucking marathon backwards, pretty much. Like that's very like technically and like fundamentally that's very very impressive, and that's very hard to do, to be able to fight an entire fight pretty much in not your original stance. And jeez, my back. And Kyle was able to do that against the Ritter. He was landing that check hook very very good on the Ritter, landing it the whole fight pretty much. Was able to outmove the Ritter. The Ritter at points in the fight was looking like he was just following Kyle around, while Kyle was skirting around on the back foot, bouncing around. It did look like as the fight went on, the Ritter had a cardio advantage. It looked like Kyle was slowing down in the fight. As the fight went on, he definitely looked way less faster in the second and third round, and the Ritter was starting to like build into the fight, but it wasn't a 5 round. I think if this fight was 5 rounds, the Ritter would have been able to pull through and get like a late like third round, fourth round, fifth round like victory. But for 3 rounds, Kyle was piecing up the Ritter, landing the better shots, landing the more effective shots, fending off the grappling of the Ritter, landing his own takedowns as well, or takedown as well, chewing up the legs of the Ritter. Yeah, pretty much just outclassing him on the feet and fending his own on the ground pretty much. So yeah, clear win for Vallejos. I think 29-28. 29-28. Won the. I think you give him the first and the third. Give the Kaio all day. So yeah, good stuff for Kaio, and maybe 8-3 on the card as well. So yeah. Moving on, we got the main event. Fuck, my bad. We got fucking Charles Oliveira defeating Max Holloway by unanimous decision, 50-45. Masterclass for Charles Oliveira. I didn't think Charles Oliveira would be that strong in the fucking in the grappling. We've seen Max not really able to be held down by guys in the wrestling. We've seen guys wrestling before. I think Volkanovski tried to wrestle him. Who else tried to wrestle him? Fucking Frankie Edgar tried to wrestle him. Ilya tried to wrestle him. That's why I picked Max for this fight, is the fact that Ilya tried to wrestle Max and he wasn't able to get the success off. And yeah, that the body lock takedowns for Charles were there, and we've never really seen guys use that technique on Max, and it worked so well for Charles. The body lock takedown, being able to get chest to chest and pick up Holloway and manhandle him like that, put him down, and able to get the back in very quick succession and control him. I will say, even though this fight was boring, it wasn't as boring as Chimaev and Duplessis. I think this fight was in terms of like excitement and being on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat way more in this fight than I was watching the Chimaev and Duplessis fight, and that was only and that was the only reason why I think that was is because Charles was fishing for the first 2 rounds. He was fishing for the rear naked choke on Max, and the fact that Max was able to defend that, I think that is a huge feather in his cap. Lay down. Lay down. Jeez. I think that's a huge feather in the cap of Max, being able to defend a guy like Charles Oliveira from your back for all 5 rounds pretty much. Yeah, this was just Charles Oliveira just controlling the back of Max Holloway. On the feet, it was kind of getting competitive. I think Charles did have more power on the feet than Max. Max was like kind of rolling with shots on the few moments they were on the feet. Max was like rolling. Lay down. Jeez, she's fucking chasing her tail all over the place. Max was like rolling with shots. It wasn't like, I don't know how to put it. It wasn't like fucking Oliveira was like clearing. It wasn't like Oliveira was just doing whatever he wanted to Max on the feet, and was like clearing Max on the feet and making him look like a fucking, like he didn't belong in there on the feet. I think it was pretty competitive on the feet. I think at the end of the 5th round, Max pointed down like he always does, and then Oliveira cracked him with a right hand, and then Holloway stood back up and tried to land his own right hand at the end of the bell. That was pretty much the only moment in the fight. But yeah, this was just domination from Charles Oliveira. I think we retired the BMF. The BMF is fucking done. The belt is done. Get that belt out of my fucking face. If I see another event with the BMF belt, do not come to school tomorrow. But yeah, this was good. Very technical, very dominant performance from Charles Oliveira. Do I think he fights Armin next? I'm not sure. I think he does fight Armin next, in my opinion. I think he fights Armin next. I know Patty would get fucking smacked around by Oliveira. Do we give Oliveira like Benoit or someone, like a guy up and coming? Yeah, I don't know. I would have to think about that, but good stuff from Oliveira. That made me 8-4 on the card, pretty much. And yeah, that was my reaction to UFC 326. I picked Holloway. Oliveira got it done. I picked Vallejos. I picked Raul. I picked fucking Johnson. Dober got it done. I picked Robocop. I picked Garbrandt. I picked Johnson. I picked Montez. I picked Tillman Dembrell. I picked Aguilaros. Dargy got it done. I picked Tobias. Nurgaje got it done. And I picked Bellotto, and Bellotto got it done. So yeah, good stuff. Good it was a good main card. I think the main card of this event pretty much saved the card. The prelims were pretty snooze festy. Were some good finishes. The Montez finish. I didn't watch the Bellotto fight. I went back and watched that. It was pretty good. I think no, that was the only 2 finishes. Wow. Yeah, the main card pretty much saved it. The Robocop knockout was nasty. Drew Dober knockout was nasty. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But moving on to the second part of the video, we got my picks for UFC Fight Night. Emmett versus Vallejos. And yeah, let's just start off with this. I'm going to be predicting this entire card, starting off with the first fight on the prelims, ending with the main event. And yeah, we got the first fight. We got Piora Rodriguez, not defeating. We got Piora Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. I'm going with Sam Hughes in this one. These girls have already fought each other, like we've been seeing for a lot of these events. We've been seeing people who have went into the UFC, fought each other in like their first or second fight, went on to have their own careers, being unranked, and then they meet up again and fight each other when they're still both unranked, which has been insane. That's happened like 3-4 times now. I think this is the fourth, I think, as well. So yeah, and pretty much in all of them, the person that's lost the first fight has won the rematch, and I'm picking Sam Hughes to win the rematch. Rodriguez won the first match. It was a unanimous decision. Pretty much like, I think, out grappled her and out striked her. I'm pretty sure. I think Sam Hughes has improved her grappling. She's been able to get takedowns. She's been able to get control time on the girls. And yeah, I think she's gonna be much improved and be able to fend off the grappling, get her own grappling off, land some shots on the feet as well. I think Hughes is on a 3-fight win streak and Rodriguez is on a 2-fight win streak, I believe. I think one of her fights she lost by DQ, and she was whooping the girl she lost to. She was whooping her ass the whole fight. So yeah, I think although that girl wasn't very good, but I think Sam Hughes is going to be able to get the rematch done based off these rematches that we've already seen. I think Sam Hughes is going to be able to get it done. Moving on, we got Luan Lacerda versus Hector Souza. I'm going with Luan Lacerda in this one. I've watched him fight. He has great grappling. Last fight, he is a win over Simon Oliveira. Able to get an armbar in the second round, which is pretty fucking good. Considering like how rare armbars have become and how like easy guys have been able to escape that submission, especially as the fight goes on. Being able to get an armbar in round 2 when you're both already sweaty, that's a pretty good feather in your cap, considering like the circumstances. And yeah, I think Luan Lacerda is going to be able to out-grapple Souza, out-grapple him, get a submission. I would say a second round submission as well, I believe, on Souza. Souza, he has a lot of KOs and TKOs, has a lot of finishes. He has like one submission, I believe, in his career, and I think a guy like Lacerda, who's been in the UFC, has very good grappling, has UFC level grappling, and I think he's going to be able to get it done with the grappling in this fight. And also, I picked Sam Hughes by unanimous decision as well. So yeah, but I think Luan Lacerda is going to be able to win this matchup with his grappling, with his submission skills by round 2 submission. Maybe like a rear naked or something like that, or like maybe an arm triangle or whatever. So yeah, lay down. Yeah. Moving on, we got Bia Mesquita versus Montserrat Rendon. We got Big Bitty Mesquita versus Big Bitty Rendon in this bitch. So yeah, I'm going with Bia Mesquita in this one. Montserrat Rendon, she's old. She didn't look any good against fucking Alice Pereira is who she fought. She didn't really look good. Was just pretty much just circling and following Pereira, as Pereira was just fucking circling against the cage and avoiding a fight pretty much. I think Mosquita's gonna be able to put it on Randone. Randone, she has a big height advantage in this one, but I don't think that's gonna matter. I think Mosquita has a way better grappling, way better is gonna be able to pressure Randone, be able to get her down and be able to sub her in the I would say in the first round. I think Mosquita is gonna be able to get on Randone immediately, pretty much with the first takedown, and be able to sub Randone in this one. And I think we're gonna see some good jiggles in this one as well. So yeah, I'm picking being Mosquita by a first round submission, destruction, and bounciness. So yeah. Moving on, we got Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is a pound of bricks versus pound of feathers ass matchup. Both these fuckers are pretty much the same motherfucker at middleweight. Brad Tavares, he's been like a gatekeeper. If you get past him, you're gonna like be somewhat good. I know he's declined over the years, pretty much, but I think if a prospect goes up against, he hasn't even like been like the guy like prospects have like destroyed on the come up. Like he's even fallen out of that like position. And I think the guy that took his position is Eric Anders. So like these guys are like fighting over like who's gonna be the guy that the upcoming dangerous prospect is gonna destroy to go on to have a good career at middleweight. And I think that's gonna be I think Eric Anders. I'm picking Eric Anders to win this one. I think Eric Anders is a bit more dangerous. He has like a 1-inch reach advantage. He's a southpaw. I think he's gonna be able to. I think he has a bit more physicality. I think both these guys have relatively the same skill set, just pretty like okay on the feet, okay on the ground. But I think Eric Anders has a bit more physical attributes to work with and be able to land more powerful, effective shots on Tavares. So yeah, I'm going with Eric Anders in this one by unanimous decision as well. So yeah, I think both these guys are. I think Tavares is a bit tougher than Anders. I've seen Anders get finished way more than Tavares, so that could also be a factor as well. But I think both these guys are pretty washed, and I think Anders is going to be able to put it on Tavares way more than Tavares is going to be able to put it on Anders. So yeah, moving on, we got Vallejos versus Minol Souza. I'm going with Vallejos in this one. Vallejos is very dangerous, very physical, very powerful at lightweight. I know he has a weakness in the grappling a bit. It's been exploited in his fights. In this fight with Mason Jones, he was able to hurt Mason Jones, but Mason Jones was able to carry through with the grappling and get the finish on Aki. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about this guy on the right to me over here. It looks like a fucking frog. He looks like a fucking smushed down Mayron Santos. Don't know much about him. I think Vallejos is gonna be able to put it on him and destroy him in the first round. Yeah, I got that. Moving on, we got Elijah Smith versus Su Young Yu. I'm going with Elijah Smith in this one. Smith, he's a very good prospect at bantamweight. He's at bantamweight. At bantamweight. He's big for the division. I think he's going to be able to out physicality a guy like Yu, who's 5'6", pretty much like a flyweight build at bantamweight. Those kind of guys are not they're not like that. They're they don't have a good matchup physicality wise, especially with these new guys coming in these weight classes who are very big for the weight class, very physical. Um, I think a guy like Smith is going to be able to have a big physicality advantage in this fight. Has a big reach advantage as well, height advantage. I think he's also going to have a strength advantage and a speed advantage as well. Um, I know his nickname is Swift, and I think in that nickname is very valid. He's very fast in the octagon with a lot of his strikes. He's very explosive. He doesn't have that much technique in the stand up, but he's very explosive with his grappling, and I think he's going to be able to get it done using his grappling in this fight. Um, Pretty much, yeah. I think Smith is he's very underrated, and he's I think he's ready to be he's ready he's gonna be a good fighter that's gonna contend at the top 15 very soon. And I think a guy like Su Sung Yu is a stepping stone to that. So I got I got Smith by I think a round 2 TKO. Use his grappling very well, get dominant position. I think he's gonna be able to use ground and pound and smoke you up on the ground. So yeah. Moving on, we got Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. Jeez, this is hard. Do I go which? It's like which way heavyweight UFC fighter? Do we go with the lighter man, used to be 205er, ripped shredded guy, or do we go with the blob of the blobbiest blob to ever blob in Steven Asplund? Uh, I'm going with Vitor Petrino in this one. I'm going with Petrino. I think Petrino is way more dangerous than Asplund. I'm gonna say Asplund than Asplund. Asplund, he does have good cardio and is able to put on pace on guys, but a lot of the guys he's fought have not been all that good. Petrino, he's fought really good guys. He's finished good guys. He fought uh, he fought Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith being a good guy to have on your resume, and he lost to Anthony Smith. I think overall Petrino has fought way better competition than Asplund. I think Asplund, he has good cardio, but that's pretty much it. Like, he doesn't really have that much pop in his shots. You know, he had that crazy ass fight with he's coming off that crazy ass fight with Sean Sharaf, I think it was. Crazy ass fight, crazy war, put a crazy pace on Sharaf, outstriking him, beating him up all across the cage. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that to a guy like Petrino, who is very dangerous, has power in the hands, has good, solid fundamentals in the boxing, is able to put combos on guys. I think Petrino's also going to have a speed advantage in this fight as well, coming up from a lighter weight class. He used to be a light heavyweight. I think he's really settled into to heavyweight as a like a fast guy that's able to use his speed and able to be dangerous. And I also think Petrino has a grappling advantage in this fight as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tough out for Asplund. Maybe he can survive the onslaught of Petrino and get some pace off and get like a furley and be able to snowball a guy like Petrino, who is like very muscle bound and does kind of like slow down. But I think Petrino can not keep up, but I think Petrino cannot like be as overwhelmed with the striking and the cardio of Asplund. I think he's going to be able to break the rhythm and break the combinations of Asplund with power and speed. And I think it's going to be a fucking I think it's going to be a late round TKO for Vitor Petrino. I think like a third round TKO for Petrino. Like catching Asplund as he comes in. Um, with like I think an uppercut. I think that's how he won his last fight, with the uppercut against Thomas Patterson. I think or Thomas Peterson. I think he's gonna be able to catch Asplund with the same thing as well. So yeah. Moving on to the headliner of the prelims, we got Chris Curtis versus Muktabek Orboy. I'm going with Orboy in this one. Orboy, he's very dangerous. Settling into welterweight, it looks like. I think he's gonna be. If he's fighting guys like Chris Curtis, I think he's gonna be all right. But I think in the future he might be a bit too small for welterweight. But Orboy, he's very dangerous, very good grappling, and very good power. It seems like. Just coming off that crazy flatline KO over Jack Hermanson. Skimmed the head of Hermanson and just put him out cold, killed him out cold in Qatar. I don't think he's gonna be able to do that to a guy like Chris Curtis, who he trains with Sean Strickland right now. Get the fuck in here, Chris. Here's the fucking thing about Chris Curtis, you guys. Fucking Chris Curtis, he's a great guy, you guys. He fucking cries a lot, but he's a fucking great guy. I think he's good. I think a guy like Orboy is going to have way too much finishing ability and way too much danger for Curtis, who like plays it safe, is very sparring heavy in his fights, doesn't really step on the gas, doesn't really use his like physical attributes in fights. Like he should. He's got a big reach. He's gonna have a reach advantage over Orboy in this fight. I think Orboy is gonna be able to come forward, take the shots of Chris Curtis, and deliver his own way more powerful and damaging shots on a guy like Curtis. And I think he's gonna be able to also use his grappling in this fight as well. Be able to get the takedowns on Curtis, control him on the ground, look for some submissions here and there. Be land more effective shots on the feet as well. Just land way more damaging, effective shots on the feet as well. And I also think I also think Orboy is gonna be able to take the punches of a guy like Curtis, and be able to not really like get phased by them. We all know Orboy, he's got a hell of a chin. So yeah, I got Orboy by I want to say unanimous decision. Yeah, piecing up Curtis, landing more powerful shots. Why am I kind of getting feelings of like Curtis is like he like eye pokes Orboy, or he like fucking like headbutts Orboy. I know that's like Curtis has had those like moments before where he's had these like weird DQs and like weird instances where like fights get called off because of a foul. I kind of have a feeling of that happening in this fight. We'll see. But for now, I got Orboy by a unanimous decision. Moving on to the first fight on the main card, we got Bruno Silva versus Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson coming off a devastating loss to Alex Perez, getting chinned for the first time in his UFC career, going up against we have Joshua Van Victim and Joshua Van Victimizer in this fight. It's kind of crazy that these guys is kind of like roles in the flyweight division. But yeah, both guys are dangerous. I want to lean to. I think I'm going to Charles Johnson in this one. Yeah, I think Charles Johnson, he has better striking. I know Bruno Silva, he's coming off a win over Kyung Sung Park, who has been like a sort of a touted prospect at flyweight. I know he outclassed Kyung Sung Park and pieced him up, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do the same against a guy like Johnson, who is a very slow starter. He's kind of like a Phil Rowe of the flyweight division. I know they both, I think they both train at the same gym as well. But he's like a Phil Rowe where he starts slow, doesn't really put too much on the first round, and he sort of like builds up and comes back in the third, in the second and the third, and that's why he kind of has these weird like wins and losses. He has a very weird record where he'll drop one to a guy like Durden, but he'll finish like a guy like Joshua Van, and finish a guy like fucking, who else did he beat? Like fucking, he beat like another like crazy name, like a crazy like prospect or whatever. I can't think of it, but yeah, he has a very like on and off sort of record where he'll have like a good performance here, but he'll have like a weird he have like a very like good win here. And I also think that's the same with a guy like Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva as well. He also like builds into the fight. He doesn't he in that Hyung Sung Park that that Hyung Sung Park fight, he didn't really do much in the first round. He sort of built up into it as the fight went on. And Hyung Sung Park got like more damaged and more fatigued. But I think a guy like Charles Johnson is gonna be able to land more damaging shots and catch Bruno Silva coming in. That's something Bruno Silva does. He like throws very looping shots, and I think the long straight shots of Johnson are going to be able to catch Bruno as he throws those very looping, very like looping combinations that he throws to get into the pocket and land like his fucking combos or like get a takedown. I think Johnson's going to be able to catch him at the end of those shots and be able to drop Fajeo, who has been like chinny and has been like dropped and like outclassed on the feet by guys who are good on the feet. And I think Johnson has very good boxing, and he is very good on the feet when he's able to get going. So yeah. I got I think a third round TKO for Charles Johnson. Build into the fight, able to piece up Silva at range, catch him coming in, that kind of shit. Moving on, we got Ian Cutelaba versus Umar Sy. I'm going with Umar Sy in this one. Umar Sy, he's very good prospect. I know he dropped one to Manafield, didn't really do fuck all in that fight. But I think a guy like Cutelaba, who is very like unpredictable. He's sort of a physical. He relies a lot on his physical attributes. And I think a guy like Umar Sy, who has very good physical attributes in his own right. He's very big for light heavyweight, 6'4", big reach as well. Has a massive reach advantage in this fight. I think he's able to also have physical attributes, but also be way more technically better and way technically more sound than Ian Cutelaba, who does kind of just rush forward and kind of relies on his power to be able to catch you off guard and kind of chin you. I think Umar Sy is going to be able to see the blitzes of Cutelaba coming from a mile away, be able to duck under the blitzes, shoot takedowns under the blitzes as well. That's how he won his last fight in France. Sy, he was able to use his grappling and able to get the finish off that. I think he's gonna be able to do the same in this fight. Shoot under the takedown. I think the grappling has been a big weakness of Cutelaba for pretty much his entire career. Cutelaba has been historically been able to be held down by guys that know what they're doing, and I think Umar Sy knows what he's doing in the grappling. In Sy is also very patient on the feet. I think he can also wait out Cutelaba and able to fucking be able to get be able to catch Kutalaba, make reads, and fucking capitalize on that as well. So yeah, Umar side, but I think a round 2 TKO would be good. Moving on, we got I'm excited for this one. We got Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick. I am going with fuck. This is hard. I'm going with Rahiki in this one, man. I'm going with Marwan Rahiki. Um, both guys are very good on the feet. Rahiki, he has the heart of a lion. Crazy ass Contender Series performance he's coming off of. He got knocked down and hurt like what? Fucking knocked down like what? 3 times, 4 times. Came back and pulled the TKO win or the KO win in like the second round. Hardwick, he's been in the UFC before. It's coming off a fucking last time. I think he still in the UFC or was he fucking or did he get like cut and have a fight in Cage Warriors? Let me see. No, he's been in he's Hardwick for the last time he was in, he had a very rough time. Got leg kick TKO'd by Carway Fernandez. Got outclassed on the feet pretty much by Carway as well. I don't think there's gonna be the same in this fight. I think a guy like Rahiki is way more boxing oriented in that way. I think he's gonna be able to. I think it's gonna be very like sort of slugfesty, sort of back and forth kind of brawl, is what I'm feeling like in this fight, where both guys get hurt. I think Rahiki has a bit more physicality than Hardwick, a bit more power in his punches at least. I know this is at featherweight, and that's Hardwick's natural division. He's a natural featherweight. He did look kind of flabby when he was fighting at lightweight against Fernandez. So yeah, I think we're gonna see a better version of Hardwick. Hardwick, he's very good with the boxing, very good hands, open to low kicks as well. I don't know how he is on the grappling. Hardwick, I would assume he's pretty decent. I know he's coming out of England. Those guys have a very good training system. When it comes to like having their strikers be able to suffice on the ground. And also Rahiki coming out of Australia, those guys also have a very good fighting system. Those guys are killers. I don't know what gym Rahiki trains at. If he trains at he trains at Lions Den, alright. I don't know who trains at Lions Den. I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. But yeah, I think Rahiki is gonna win this fight off of having more grit and more power in his hands. So yeah. I think like a unanimous decision or maybe a round 3 TKO finish for Rahiki is gonna be gonna be good here. But moving on to the featured fight, we got Andre Fili versus Jose Delgado. I'm going with Jose Delgado in this one. I just think he's way more dangerous than Fili. Fili, he's been sort of like the gatekeeper at featherweight, where he's fought a lot of up and coming guys, been finished by a lot of up and coming guys as well. Been sort of like win one, lose one, journeyman kind of guy, and I think a guy like Jose Delgado, who is very dangerous, very good prospect, very good on the feet, can fold his own in the grappling as well. I think he's gonna go out there and put on a crazy masterclass against a guy like Fili, who was 37 years old, aged up, doesn't really have any prospects in the UFC anymore. He's kind of just there for guys like Jose Delgado to build a name off of and get a highlight reel finishes off of. And I think Jose Delgado is going to be able to do just that in this fight. Very good. And they're both very big featherweights as well. But I think Delgado has more power. He's more precise on the feet. Has way more tools. And just way better of a shot selector. And way more dangerous. So yeah, I got Delgado in this one. I think a round 1 KO will suffice. Maybe a knee up the middle, or maybe like a head kick, sets up a head kick as well. I think that would be good. Yeah. Moving on, we got Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. I'm going with Amanda Lemos in this one. I think Lemos, she has way more physicality. I think she has more power in the hands. I know Robertson, she is a very good grappler. Has very good grappling. I think Lemos, she fought Tatiana Suarez, and she was able to survive off the ground fighting her, and was able to hurt Suarez as well in the third round. I think she can put on that power against Robertson, who is kind of just a grappling girl. She doesn't really have much on the feet. I'm not really that good of striking from what I've seen, and doesn't really have the pop in her shots. And when you're a girl and you have a pop in your shots at strawweight, at least, I'm gonna be picking you. So I got Lemos by I think unanimous decision, I would say. They're both women, so I'm not gonna bet on a finish. I think a unanimous decision from Lemos, being able to land the more powerful shots, be able to survive on the ground against Robertson, get up from the ground as well, be able to pressure more as well. Just be able to out physicality her and out physical attribute her. So yeah. Moving on, we got the main event, and it is Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. I'm going with Kevin Vallejos in this one. We are going to smack up Josh Emmett. We are going to put our name in the top 10 featherweight status. Kevin Vallejos, I think he's a way better boxer than Josh Emmett. Emmett, he's gonna have a reach advantage in this one, but he doesn't really fight long. He kind of just waits for you to run into his overhand. That's what Emmett does. That's kind of all Emmett does these days, is wait for guys to just run into his overhand. And I think a guy like Vallejos is gonna be able to be able to avoid that. Be patient, not get too frisky with a guy like Emmett, who does still have power at his old age. Not get too frisky. Be able to stay patient. Be able to see the overhand coming, defend that pretty well, and be able to land his own. Seize the moment, make reads, and land his own combinations. Once Emmett sort of misses on his overhand, be able to sort of land his own combinations on Emmett, be able to sort of get out of the way of the danger as well as Emmett tries to counter. I think Vallejos is going to be able to stick and move, get into the pocket, move out, and I think he's also going to be able to hurt Emmett as well when he gets in there. And pretty much outclass Emmett in the boxing as well. I also think Vallejos can land some takedowns on Emmett. I think we've seen Vallejos land takedowns against like Gene Silva and shit. I think he can do that in this fight as well. So yeah, I got Vallejos by I want to say third round KO. I want to say. I know Emmett is pretty tough. He's been able to take a beating. He's never really been able to like be finished. We never seen Emmett like get coated or some shit, or or get like brutalized or whatever. But I think Vallejos, with his power and his physicality, is gonna be able to be the guy that is gonna be able to finish Emmett. We've seen Emmett get dropped by like guys like Lerone Murphy and shit. So yeah. But anyway, those are my picks for this fight card. I got Vallejos, I got Lemos, I got Delgado, I got Rahiki, Umar Sy, Charles Johnson, Max Beck Orboy, Vitor Petrino, Elisha Smith, Balaj Yaki, Eric Anders, Bia Mosqueda, Luan Lacerda, and Sam Hughes. So yeah, those are my picks. Hope you guys enjoyed this 2-parter right here. So nice. He had to do it twice, face ass. but yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a fight companion. I got a lot of shit to do. I'm pretty backed up in my actual life. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I pop in for like for the main card or something like that. I think that would be pretty sick, or pretty good for me at least. I'm popping for the main card, see what's going on there. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, sub, all that bullshit. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.